Dragoon Pass. Very spicy. Bro, what the heck my eye just caught? Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Gain life points every time our opponent's special summons equal to the monster's attack. What the heck? So we won't be able to deal lethal this turn, and we're forced to make plays under Max C. Now we have Garbage Fusion, while opponent can't respond with Dragoon. Banishing Mercuria instead of a Luba to trigger a search, very well. Bro, what are you doing? You didn't toggle on to banish with Mirror Jade on summon while they can't respond because Lost states that our opponent can't respond when you fusion summon. And then you were forced to Mercuria negate. Shoot. He's still fine with open normal summon for Quem sending Sword to recover the Mercuria for next turn. Wait, where is the fucking Mercuria, mate? He didn't send Sword, but Albaz instead. Why? You could have searched Albaz with Lost, then discard it as cost for Lubellion, or recovering the in-grave opening for summoning Chem next turn to send Albaz. You had two good options to get Albaz in grave, but chose the third worst option. And we had double Mercuria this turn, and both are gone now. And now we use Retribution to recover Garbage Fusion, which could have been opening. But we still have a decent amount of disruptions, despite that very well done. Bro had ball in hand, yet his true son God got negated. This ball hurts us, but at least we made good decision by searching Goldie. He's very clutch in such moments. Oh my god, the Tearlaments in action. Mill, then see where the flow gonna take me. Absolute pure raw stupidity. And we banished Quim instead of Albaz. What can I say? Well done, Tear Bozo. Bro, this not how it's supposed to look like when you get double Max C back-to-back backed up by a giant ball. How the heck do we have full gas hand while the opponent almost ended on nothing? Well, this is branded, ladies and gentlemen. Meta Noise in response to Max C targeting, Cartesia to change face down, then perform a fusion summon. Thus we gonna chain Cartesia to dodge. Because Meta Noise states if you don't change to face down, you don't get to fuse. Very well done. But out of freaking nowhere, he milled a transaction rollback to copy the effect of Meta Noise again. So this time, Meta Noise will unfortunately go through. Wait, where is the fusion trigger, mate? He sent a Rainer Heart. Where is the other Tearlament girls? Let's dig the grave for the Tearlament girls ourselves then. There they are, Havnis and Double Shiren all in grave, and he had a shuffler but didn't shuffle a single copy of them. What? Anyways, Saranir triggers met by Shuffler, and our dude finally remembered he dropped his fusion triggers out of his pocket and now recycling them. Bald branded fusion on a potential Imperm Kurm. I wouldn't blame you, because even if the opponent's set is Imperm, I doubt he will use it correctly after the crimes I've just witnessed. Now Mirror Jade banished the ball before it returns back to the opponent's side. Very well done. Did he really negate a Luba summon from grave, which was a bait, and our fellow Branded said, "No, I won't allow you to negate the bait"? Interesting. At the end, on their main phase, the game will ask you, would you like to activate Queritis effect to reduce? And we should have said yes. Then chain Reinbrum to the Queritis and spin one of his fusions, but no big deal. What is going on here? We have billion triggers here, which will lead us into witnessing another crime. Holly molly, let's see how this gonna end. How is this duel still going on? I guess that 500 scream reduce is pain in the ass, right? Garura on the offensive. I like the sound of that. Opponent must be scared now. Come on, please finish this abomination already. Another transaction rollback. Bro, just die. What the hell? There's no point of fighting at this point. Hilarious. Finally, the final blow is here. No, what now? Not again. Not again, bro. This is too much. Okay, is this the end, or I'm just delusional again? What the actual bot? Well done on Quim giving tiny kiss for Havens before ascending to the glory. Thank God. Holy crap, bro, this was spicy. Thanks for showing me this. Don't do it again. Up next. And we have, of course, the dreaded Max C in standby phase. I'm not sure about fingering the C, because if they have an Ash, you lose both finger and branded fusion. So fingering the C is high risk, high reward. Holding on red till the end phase until Quim arrives is definitely good option, but while doing so, we held on our droplet as well. Oopsie. Notice that Typhoon can't activate to spin Mirror Jade because the Kashtira field spell boosted Typhoon's attack to be affected by Typhoon's lingering effect. Recycling the Lubellian fusion with regained is high priority. Very important to recycle it, because it's a one-of, and your main way to recycle your cards despite regained. Ecclesia jumps off the field, getting Goldie to be destroyed instead by the Raisin is smart. And maybe wondering why Dispater, even though we could have made Light and Dark Chaos Angel, which he already plays. Well, Etude of Branded has an additional effect that makes all opponents' monsters used as material for any extra deck summoned to be banished instead, only if you control a Bestial, which Dispater fulfills. I'm liking this good management of resources and continually recycling the pieces. That's what makes a huge difference in grand game. Furthermore, recycling the retribution. Good job. Now this Chaos Angel wasn't made with light monster, thus STIGMATA is able to affect it. Now what is this? What is this? 2 monsters in the middle zones and 2 monsters in extra monster zones. It's our hidden secret effect. And maybe you're wondering, why didn't he use Sanctifier secret effect right away? It's because Little Knight can respond to Sanctifier grave effect and banish at least 1 monster from the required zones, making Sanctifier summon from grave fizzles. So we had to make sure we deal with Little Knight first. Good job. Every turn, STIGMATA continually recycling our banished pieces, regained continually drawing and reborn and recycling as well. Lost continually searches, Etude floodgating the opponent and performs synchro summons. I bet he will not get out of resources even if this duel lasted 100 turns. This is insane control. Well done. Up next, we have another branded fool with a non-branded fusion line shenanigans. At the start of my turn, I felt a delay and checked and wasn't max C nor imperm. So I knew he had Fualos and made sure to play around it perfectly, making him hold it for the next turn. Problem with Fualos delay is that it covers for the Ash Blossom delay. So there was no way I could have checked for the Ash, thus Quem in this situation is the GOAT despite having Gold Sark to search a Lubert. But I'm not taking the risk playing into the Ash and pray they don't have it while I can do better. Now with Cartesia, I decide to go straight for Anaconda instead of fusing into Granguignol. Thus checkmated him into holding Fualos for next turn, cause he will look so bad if he Fualos the Anaconda for 1 draw after all of that. Of course they had Ash. I will tell you later why exactly I chose Retribution to set not Red nor Banishment. Sanctifier early being hit with the Fualos, but who cares, Branded can take Fualos and Max C challenges all day and win asserting dominance. Now, why specifically Retribution was the best in this scenario? I know that he will get a bunch of draws off Fualos I acknowledged from the previous turn, and maybe drawing into Boardbreaker to deal with Dragonlord. Second is recycling Lubellian Fusion. Third is having follow-up my next turn through that Retribution, despite what happens to my current board. So this Retribution set is basically a disruption, and your greatest chance to have the upper hand in grind game in such scenario. Now, on the activation of the island, is the last moment to checkmate him through banishment. despite having good setup, but this hand was too good. That's not fair to execute it just like one card combo Aluba. So I will demonstrate real quick what could we've accomplished with this hand.
Quiritis is one of the best ways to OTK through big field of bodies on attack position, also making sure to chain Quiritis before you special summon any non-fusions so they don't get reduced along the way.
So this situation is a lose situation, unless the opponent is a fool by missing the fact that Shrouded is also an Albaz while on the field. So basically, the best use of Shrouded here, which many of you may forget about, is using Shrouded to special summon itself to threat Alba Lenatus. Didn't use Majesty on Shrouded, wasted Ash on Lubellion, and now surely Veiler on Aluba won't save you. Having Branded Fusion hard opened is heaven's justice. Always appreciate players who don't go for Branded Fusion right away, but go to Spirits to make an accurate decisions on whether it's optimal to go Branded Fusion line or play around Ash. And since we went for Branded in white, this means we sensed the Ash delay. Spirits were the first check and Shrouded plus Saranir were the second and third. Very well done. Since we were not going for Branded Fusion line, it was for the best if we sent Albion with Granguignol for additional disruption instead of Saranir. Or at least send Sword with Saranir to help recover banished Albaz monsters on opponent's turn, instead of Retribution, which is nothing more than follow-up for next turn. Maybe rushing on Goldie too early and summon Cartesia from hand was a misplay because you should be able to reborn Cartesia from grave after using it for Albaz discard, keeping the Baldrake in hand, which could be a disruption at some point. Or we could have searched Saranir instead of Baldrake with the Magnamut. So when we use it as discard fodder, we get to send Sword to recover Goldie. Space issue is coming up. Bro didn't summon Mirror Jade in the extra monster zone, while there's an Albion wants to set Banishment and Titanclad, wants to summon at end phase. Bro, what the absolute hell is that? Why would you summon with Titanclad? Now Banishment is completely dead, and you have to wait for opponent to clear your field to use it, or use Mirror Jade on Quem, so you can use Banishment. Good decision on getting follow-up through Saintfire Reborn Magnamut, since we already guaranteed to survive that turn, thus setting up for next turn is the best you can do. We are fully popping off and protected from hand traps through Dispata, which is protected through the Chaos Angel. Good job on summoning Mirror Jade this time in extra monster zone, otherwise I would have... Well, let's just thank God he didn't do it. Great comeback. It all started with Magnamut summon and search on a very clutch timing. Let's speed up this garbage. and max C on top of +7 disruptions after waiting an eternity for them to end. Painful. I'd love nothing more than watching those kind of bozos burning to the ground. So basically we just need Quiritis plus another 1500 attack or more, body to battle over the indestructible by battle Apollo. But after Promethean took one of our bodies, Quiritis is no longer valid lethal play. But seems we forgot about Alba Lanata's special ability to attack multiple times. Let's get to it, let's do it. YOLO Allure of Darkness into rip the entire hand. But who the fuck cares about the hand when we have the absolute Chad lethal play? Beautifully done, love it. Some of you may ask why not go for Garura instead of Star Source, which doesn't pop if used opponents' monsters. It's because Garura requires the two monsters to be with different names. You could wait on Superly until they go for Ultimate Spirit, but then you'd be offering them to negate your Grave Effect with spirits. Wouldn't it have been better to grab an Albaz instead of Cartesia, since we're using it as discard for opening? The answer is no, because we have hidden Goldie in Grave, which is Plan C to reborn Cartesia in case the opponents still have the out. Okay, let 'em cook.